It's like Cheddar Gorge on top of Glencoe. That's the sort of thing we're dealing with. Plus some beautiful blue sky now. Does biking come any better than this? I'm not sure it does, you know. Yet another bit of stunning changed landscape. Amazing stacks of rocks over there. It looks like we're about to potentially enter some cloud soon as well, which will be quite interesting. I can already feel the temperature dropping right off. It's wild in these mountainous regions the way that the mountains just hold the clouds back. And in fact, in all the Canary Islands, it turns out that they all have similar climatic conditions where it means the wind is such that all the airports are on the sort of southeastern edge of the islands. All the tourist beaches are all on the southern bits of the island, just because of the way the winds and the clouds work. I think I'm in. Okay, we've just come into a place called Mirador, which, let's face it, pretty much every Spanish island you've ever been to has a Mirador del something. And basically just means good view, I think. And I have no doubt that there's a good view around every corner here. This is an amazing road. You do not want to get it wrong into one of those barriers, though. I'm hoping I'm going to get a view of the sea in a moment, because I'll just see it over the horizon on my left, in the other direction to that which we're travelling, so maybe not yet. Ah, there's the sea. Lovely. Possibly can't see it on the GoPro. Still a little way away, but it sure is a good view. Lived up to its name. That rocky stack there, it's straight out of Monument Valley. And still we climb. Wow, look at that now. That really is a good view. They were not kidding. Amazing ridge all running along the left there. All this is originally volcanic, of course, as the islands were lifted out of the Atlantic. And then erosion has caused all these canyons. And Gran Canaria itself really is just the one big hill in the middle, and then lots of canyons radiating out from it. And that's what creates this amazing landscape. Right. What's Martin got in store for us here? Dead end, maybe a good view at the end perhaps? Let's see. At the viewpoint, Rock Bentayga. Let's go and check this out. So that was quite a ride. So what's this place called then, Martin? It's this Rock Bentayga.
Yes, this is Rock Bentayga. This was the last stronghold of the original people on the island before the Spanish managed to get them out.
Right.
There's a museum below it. It tells you a little story about this. Well, this rock here.
Yeah.
Yeah. So around the other side, there's a load of caves, cave houses that they used to live in, and there's also a natural spring, so they could survive for months on end.
So is this the proper Grand Canyon? Let's have a look.
This is it down there, straight down there.
That is amazing, isn't it?
We're going to head after lunch. We'll be heading down there. Gets really warm.
That is stunning.
Yeah.
Those are proper hairpins coming up there, aren't they?
Well, I'm saving them till tomorrow.
Oh, are you? Oh, okay, blimey. I'm going to have nightmares tonight now. Oh dear.
Yeah, we've been nice with you today, Andy.
General introduction, eh?
Yeah. Rome wasn't built in a day, was it?
Well, one excellent little stopping off point. We are good to go. Well, amazing viewpoint just there, a few pics. And now we're heading off towards a town called Artenara, which I'm hoping is going to be in the sunshine. We're going to go through a bit of cloud first, I think, and find ourselves some lunch. And apparently the roads to Artenara are pretty special. So not sure whether to be excited or petrified. Only one way to find out. Well, this is another little beautiful town that we've happened to cross. Don't know the name of this one, but perched right up on the side of the mountain here. Lots of restaurants and bars. Very, very nice. I'll tell you what, there's something to be said for these pre-planned, oh, get me teeth in, something to be said for these pre-planned routes. I'm so glad Martin knows where he's going, because it's all very beautiful. But if I'd ridden down here, I'd have thought I'd gone wrong. I think this might be the town of Tejeda, T-E-J-E-D-A, something like that. I saw it on the maps when I was looking earlier. It seems like one of the more major spots around here. The architecture around here, to my mind, has more in common with African architecture than Spanish, I think. Or certainly you can very much see and feel the sort of African influence on the design of the towns. And we are considerably closer to Morocco, which I think is 80 miles to the east, than we are to Spain, which is 800 miles to the north. Okay, so we're on the GC 210 now, on the way to Artenara. Been a bit of rain here at some point, quite wet roads here, so just taking it a little bit carefully. Roads are a little bit wider as well though, so that's nice, or in parts they are. It's just that bit of the island that was under the cloud, so hoping it's going to be nice and sunny again when we get to our lunch stop. And already it's dry at this point. It's just that low spot where the cloud was clinging that had the rain. When I say rain, it's just a very light drizzle really. It's still deceptively warm though. And here we are, just on the outskirts of Artenara now, which I think is where the planned lunch stop is, which I'm quite pleased about, because my stomach is telling me it's food o'clock. Another amazing little section of the ride. And when last night we were talking about the number of hairpins, and numbers like between 2,000 and 3,000 a day were mentioned, I sort of struggled to believe that, but now having ridden for the first section of the trip, I completely understand that that could be true. Unbelievable twisty roads. Don't suppose they suffer from squared off tyres here very often. That'll do. Well, top scran, this, isn't it? Well, what an excellent little lunch break that was in the cave. Splendid food. Once again helped by the fact that got a local man advising on what to eat. Absolutely splendid. So now we're heading sort of south and east in the search of some warmer climes and some more spectacular scenery, including what Martin refers to as the Stelvio run. So that should be fun. Stay tuned. Amazing smell of pines as you ride through here. It's absolutely gorgeous. One of the things I love about motorcycling, the fact that you're in the environment rather than just kind of passing through it like you are in a car. You get to feel the air on you, you get to feel the temperature changes, you get to experience the smells, good and bad. Well, lovely, it's feeling nice and warm out here now actually. Since we had lunch it's warmed up a few degrees on the old legs, just perfect riding weather. Still can't quite get over the fact that I'm filming this in November. Wow, this is a beautiful spot. This reminds me of riding through the Alps. Oh, low cloud up ahead again. Could mean we're in for some more foggy, wet, damp stuff. I don't know. Not sure if we're just in the descent now, or whether we're climbing back over the mountain. Sort of blissfully ignorant of our route, which might be a good thing. This would be an absolutely phenomenal ride on my street triple. It would be such fun down these roads. I have to say though, I'm pretty gelling with this this Honda. It's like I say, a solid old beast. It's old school, proper motorbike. I like the way it sounds. It's nice and smooth. Goes around the corners absolutely fine. Hasn't quite got the grunt that my street triple would have. Not that that's a problem on these roads, because you're never going to be going super fast, just by the nature of them. These, in my mind though, are proper biking roads. You certainly have to have your wits about you. You can't afford to lapse in concentration. And in fact, I've had the camera off for large portions of the route where it's got tricky going, only because I just don't feel happy about talking and riding at the same time. Wow, there's a dam down there. Hope you can see that. And a reservoir that's looking very low. I wonder if that's the same one that we saw earlier that I described as the Hoover Dam. I think it was actually. Look at this scenery, just jaw-dropping. As is the road, frankly. These corners are just relentless. This is just amazing. I'm having to be very, very selective about when I turn the camera on, because frankly every corner is amazing. But just look at this. This is properly jaw-dropping scenery. Wow. That road down there. That's incredible. Say again? Yes. Wow. Oh, I want my mummy. Incredible. Right then. Well, I hope the camera picked up that road. Absolutely amazing. Look at this place. Unbelievable. Starting to get a bit frightened actually. Wow. Okay, I think take it easy is the order of the day. Great. Martin's advice was stay on the tarmac. Absolutely sound advice, which I shall be trying my hardest to comply with. So I can only assume this is the bit that Martin was referring to as the Mini Stelvio. Blimey, it's like Balak Nabar all over again. Wild. And once again the mind boggles how these roads got built in the first place. What a road. Blimey, when you're on the inside of the turn, it's you don't get much of a radius to deal with. Oh, now we're descending, it's getting noticeably warmer. Little gap there just to fall through if you want to. To your certain death, hundreds of feet below. Try not to look over that edge too much. Well, I don't think I've ever ridden on a... well, I've definitely never ridden on a road like this. I don't think I've ever driven on a road like this. And I thought I'd done some precipitous drives in my time. Well, it's starting to get really hot now. Quite a villa tucked in there. Oh well, this is where the villas are dug into the rock face. Wow, what an amazing place. This is unbelievable. Who knew that all this was in Europe? Everybody goes on about the Alps. You need to get to Gran Canaria. This is where it's at. This is a bit of a secret riding paradise. Let's not tell anybody about it. Note to self, this is the GC 210 that we're on. Some amazing cacti. There's a pretty unwelcoming looking plants there if you were to come off at that point. Well, as is often the case on these spectacular rides, I'm running out of superlatives. I think this has to take the biscuit though for most spectacular ride to date. Absolutely stunning. Makes Glencoe look like Reading. Road surface is not quite as good quality as it was earlier. We'll see a slightly lesser travelled road. And just trucks down there begging for the CRF. That is quite a ravine. It's really quite difficult for me to take this all in because it is just so enormous, the scale of this. And just so spectacular. I've done some lovely rides in my time, but this, I'm sort of lost for words. It's absolutely gargantuan and beautiful and very bumpy. It's as if you were allowed to ride your motorcycle into the Grand Canyon. This is what it would be like. This is properly awesome. Wow. This is where you have that dilemma of concentrating on your riding versus taking in the stunning scenery. Water levels at the bottom of the canyon are so low there. There's generally a bit of a water issue on the island. They have to use desalination plants for drinking water, and that's one of the main reservoirs, which is obviously looking super low at the moment. What a place. And there's the road we're heading down. I'm loving the colours of these rocks. These browns all the way through to reds. Absolutely stunning in the sunshine. Well, they say the best things in life are free, don't they? And they're right. Views like this, they're just what, you know, they just make you feel alive, don't they? It's good for the soul. To think I could have been at home. It's a Saturday at the moment in November. In fact, I think it's the 5th. I think it's fireworks night. I could have been at home shopping, doing the Tesco run, fighting through the rain and cold, giving lifts to the kids, all of which are laudable things to do as the dutiful house husband that I am. But gosh, how much better to come out here and do this. You've got to make the effort, folks. It's all here to see. Well, I'm pretty chuffed at doing this. This makes me feel worthy now of watching Richie Vida videos in the future. This is the sort of stuff that he does on a regular basis with his posse. And I always feel a little bit fraudulent when I'm doing my... well, not always, but, you know, can feel a little bit fraudulent when I'm pootling along the UK doing a tour. Nice though they are. When he's out doing stuff like this. And then here I am doing it too. So, eat your heart out, Richie. I know it was only a couple of weeks ago that he and Gaz were out in Tenerife doing something not dissimilar. Well, I think you chose the wrong island, chaps. Get yourselves out of here. Borrow a bike from Canary Motorcycle Tours. Martin will take you out. It's all done for you, dead easy. And it can be done in a long weekend. And you can do it throughout the winter and you'll get weather like this. What's not to like? What a fabulous thing to do. Looks like we got a bit of tunnel action coming up, which is always good. Oh, only a small one.
Just turning left here. Can you first go to the top?
Okay.
Short right hand and left hand turn. Put your gear brake.
Okay. Okay, something tells me this is going to be a bit tricky. First gear only. See what he means. Utmost concentration required for these. Wow. Black in a bar, eat your heart out. See anything coming there either. Dragging a bit of rear brake as we go around. Man, these are not for the faint-hearted. It's amazing how when you get on these roads you feel yourself tense up. Oh, I've got into second gear. Is that illegal at this point? I'll tell you what, it's great having somebody like Martin who knows these roads like the back of his hand, and also the fact that he's a riding instructor doesn't hurt, to give you bits of local advice like that, because I wouldn't necessarily have gone up there in first gear. So another advantage of doing a guided tour like this. What a road. The GC 606 for those that are interested. Need to find that on the map. Wow, what a landscape. A bit of a viewpoint. Fantastic. Wow. In one piece, made it. So don't tell me that was just the warm-up.
Yeah, that's just
That's the main course.
That was fantastic, wasn't it? Let's get the other camera out.
Well, I knew you could do it because we were still alive at that point.
The thing is, when you're coming up there, it's that scenery is so bloody amazing, isn't it? You're torn between watching where you're going and looking at the scenery, isn't you? It's unbelievable.
If you can raid here, you can raid anywhere.
Oh yeah, I think you're right. It's absolutely
It's
stunning.
over the back.
Yeah, I'm going to have a check this out. Look at that. Wowee. So I assume this is the prime spot. Yeah, not a bad view, is it? I've seen worse.
Yeah. Steeper than what?
Yeah, we must be. It looks to me a couple of thousand feet at least looking down at that car. And the peaks of these are at about 6,000, aren't they?
Yes.
Right, we're off. Well, what an amazing scenic stop that was. Absolutely silent up there as well. No traffic up here, probably not surprising. I don't suppose many people venture up here in a car because these roads are very narrow. And Martin was saying it was only a few months ago that the Armco got put up on that bit of road. There were no barriers there whatsoever a few months back, and it was pretty precipitous coming up there, pretty steep. Let's not kid ourselves. It's quite a drop down here on the left with no barriers. I'm certainly not venturing over that way.